Here's something that doesn't make sense until you actually do the math. Two people walk into the same store, they buy the exact same washing machine, same brand, same model, same everything. One person pays $800, the other person pays $1,400. Same store, same machine, same day. And no, this isn't some scam or bait-and switch. This is just how the financial system actually works when you don't have money sitting in your account. Today, we're going to break down something that nobody really talks about in these terms, the mathematical penalty of being broke. Not the emotional toll, not the stress, not the shame, just the numbers. Cold, simple arithmetic that explains why people who can least afford to waste money end up paying the most for nearly everything they buy. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how this works, why it happens, and more importantly, how people quietly escape this trap without winning the lottery or doubling their income. Let's start with someone real. Not a character, just a composite of the hundreds of financial situations you'd find in any American or British city on any given Tuesday. Her name is Sarah. She's 31, lives outside of Denver, works full-time as a dental office administrator. Before taxes, she makes $52,000 a year, which sounds reasonable until you watch it evaporate. After federal taxes, state taxes, Social Security, and her modest health insurance contribution, she takes home about $3,400 a month. Her rent is $1,400, not extravagant, just a one-bedroom in a decent enough neighborhood where her car probably won't get broken into. Car payment, $380 a month for a used Honda with 70,000 miles on it. She needed reliable transportation to get to work, couldn't pay cash. The dealership offered financing at 9% because her credit score was hovering around 640. Student loans, $290 a month for a degree that technically qualified her for this job but didn't exactly catapult her into wealth. Utilities, phone, internet, car insurance, another $400. So before Sarah buys a single grocery, before she puts gas in that Honda, before she does anything remotely resembling living, she's already spent $2,470. She has $930 left for everything else. Food, gas, household supplies, the occasional dinner with friends so she doesn't completely lose her mind, maybe a new pair of shoes when the old ones fall apart. She's not irresponsible. She's not buying designer bags or taking trips to Cabo. She's just existing, and she's broke by the 23rd of every month. This is the person who pays double for everything, not because she's making bad decisions, but because the system charges more when you don't have a financial cushion. Here's what most people don't understand about money: poverty has a markup. When you have cash available, you can pay for things once and be done with it. When you don't, you enter the installment economy, and the installment economy always charges interest. Let's go back to that washing machine. Sarah's washer breaks, she needs a new one. A decent model costs $800, but Sarah doesn't have $800 sitting in savings. She has maybe $200 that she's been trying not to touch. So she does what millions of people do every week. She puts it on a store credit card with 0% interest for 12 months. Sounds fine, right? Except here's how those cards actually work. If you don't pay off the entire balance within that promotional period, and statistically most people don't, the interest isn't just charged going forward. It's charged retroactively from day one at the card's regular rate, which is usually somewhere between 24 and 29%. Sarah makes her monthly payments, but she also has a car repair in month 4 and a medical copay in month 8. She pays off $700 of the $800 by month 12. Now she owes back interest on the full original purchase. That $800 washer just became $1,100 minimum. If she continues paying it off slowly at that new interest rate, she'll eventually hand over closer to $1,400. Same washing machine, double the price. And this isn't a rare scenario. This is the default outcome for most promotional financing offers. They're not designed for you to win. They're designed to look like a favor while quietly extracting more money over time. Let's do more math, because this rabbit hole goes deeper than one appliance. Sarah's credit card, her regular one, not the store card, carries a balance of $4,200. The interest rate is 22%. She pays $150 a month because that's what she can manage. At that rate, she'll be paying off that card for 3 years and 11 months. She'll pay $2,600 in interest alone. So that's $4,200 in purchases. Actually, it cost her $6,800. She bought things once and paid for them almost twice. Now let's look at her car. She financed $18,000 at 9% for 60 months. By the end of the loan, she'll have paid about $22,300. That's $4,300 in interest. If she'd been able to pay cash or even finance at 4% with a better credit score, she'd have saved $2,100 to $4,000 on the same car. And these numbers start stacking. Sarah's student loans have already accumulated more in interest than she's paid down in principal over the last 6 years. Her renter's insurance costs more because she doesn't own a home and is considered a higher risk. Her car insurance costs more because she's never had the credit score to unlock preferred rates. Everything costs more when you're already stretched thin. The system isn't punishing her for being irresponsible. It's charging her a fee for not having a financial buffer. So why don't more people see this coming? Why do we keep falling into the same patterns even when we're generally smart and aware? There's a concept in behavioral economics called present bias. It's the tendency to prioritize immediate relief over future benefit, even when the math clearly favors waiting. When Sarah's washing machine breaks, her brain doesn't think, "Let me calculate the total cost of interest over 14 months." Her brain thinks, "I have dirty laundry, I need to fix this now, here's a solution, take it." The pain of not having a working washer is immediate. The pain of paying 29% interest is abstract and delayed. And this is exactly what lenders understand. They know that people in financial stress aren't thinking in spreadsheets, they're thinking in emergencies. Buy now, pay later, 0 down, low monthly payments. These aren't offers, they're psychological traps designed for people who can't wait because waiting isn't an option when you're already behind. And the cruelest part is this: the less money you have, the more of these decisions you're forced to make. Wealthy people don't take out financing on washing machines, they don't use payday loans, they don't pay late fees because they forgot to move money between accounts in time. The friction of being broke creates more opportunities to lose money. Now let's zoom out and see what happens over time. Sarah is 31. If she continues on her current path, not getting worse, just staying the same, she will pay an estimated $40,000 to $60,000 more over the next 20 years than someone with the exact same income but a small financial cushion. That's not because she buys more stuff, it's because she pays more for the same stuff. And here's the part that actually matters: that $40,000 to $60,000 is money she could have invested. At a conservative 7% return, that amount, contributed gradually over 20 years, could have grown into over $150,000. That's her retirement, that's her down payment on a house, that's the gap between comfortable and surviving. And it got taken from her, a few $100s at a time, through interest, fees, and markups that are nearly invisible unless you sit down and do the math. She's not paying for bad decisions, she's paying a toll for not having enough margin. So what do people who escape this trap actually do? It's not about being smarter, it's about building a small gap between income and obligations, even if it's uncomfortable at first. Financially stable people don't earn dramatically more than Sarah in most cases, but they made one boring choice early: they built a buffer. A few $1,000s that sits there and does nothing except exist. And that buffer changes everything. It means paying for the washing machine in cash. It means avoiding the 24.99% interest. It means never paying a late fee because the money was always there. Over time, that buffer creates options, and options reduce cost. They buy a car with better financing terms because they can negotiate and walk away. They pay insurance annually instead of monthly and get a discount. They buy quality things that last instead of cheap things that break. They still earn similar incomes, but they keep more of it. And here's the part no one wants to say out loud: the first $1,000 is the hardest. It might take 6 months of minor sacrifices, it might mean saying no to things that feel normal. But once that buffer exists, the math starts working in your favor instead of against you. You stop renting money, you stop paying the broke tax. So what's the takeaway here? It's not that you're doing something wrong, it's that the system is designed to charge more to people with less flexibility. That's not a moral judgment, it's just how interest and risk-based pricing work. But understanding this changes how you see your own situation. Every time you avoid interest, you keep more of your income. Every time you build a little buffer, you reduce future costs. Every time you wait and pay in cash instead of financing, you're paying wholesale instead of retail. The math of being broke is simple, you pay more for the same life. The math of having even a small cushion is equally simple, you start paying less. It's not about earning more, it's about keeping more of what you already earned. No tricks, no hype, just arithmetic. If this gives you something to think about, a like helps more people find this video. And if you want more content like this, calm, honest, no nonsense, subscribing is the easiest way to stick around. Thanks for watching, I'll see you in the next one.